somebody that has done a lot for Afghanistan cricket, that's for sure.
Little nudge up the ground to end the Nubby over, 90 for 2. A very impressive record, really, in their first 150 one-day internationals. Granted, a lot of their opposition have come against those two at the bottom there, Ireland and Zimbabwe. They're starting to get more and more games against these other nations. West Indies, South Africa, England, Afghanistan. The team records after the first 150 one-day internationals that they've played. Where's your boys? Why are they not on there?
Are winning after Fargus Maruf started playing history. And looking at the numbers, West Indies, #1 average of 3. Goes to show from where to where they've fallen at the moment, missing out on the World Cup this year. So sad to see the majors, the tears up in Zimbabwe. Cricket has taken a huge turn. Look at those numbers for West Indies. 111 wins of 150 games. And at the moment, this is in the first 150 games, just for the reminder of our viewers, at the moment, the present team is struggling to get into the World Cup. Sad straight. And Sri Lanka, they're obviously very disappointed not to be there. Since the '96 World Cup, things have started to change.
There's bounce and a big appeal. They're very, very confident. They're going to have to convince their captain to go upstairs here. I think Gurbaz will be reluctant because he's got a few wrong over the course of the series. And this might be a no-go.
Wasn't convincing Ramula Gurbaz's body language. Usually he's someone who celebrates, but this time he wasn't sure. But what a fantastic delivery by Farid, changing the angle, coming round the wicket, just enough movement away from the right hand, and take a look at that for bounce. That's not convincing enough, Gurbaz. Good that Afghanistan didn't go upstairs. Take a look at where the ball passes by when Mohammad Rizwan plays the defense, almost in the splice of the bat. That goes to show the amount of bounce, inconsistency.
Yeah, the ball before that one that went past the outside edge, that squatted, kept low. Something that batters really struggle with when there's the inconsistent bounce. Before play today, there was a photograph taken with the entire Afghanistan team and coaching staff just celebrating the momentous occasion that is today. 150 one-day internationals.
Good to see Jonathan Trott with a smile.
Good little hand there from Zadran at backward point. He just nudged it towards the incoming sweeper. So 7 and over from here would see Pakistan get to 249, but I think it's very difficult for us to expect that Pakistan will score at 7 and over from now onwards. I think there would be an acceleration towards the back end, certainly, while there's just 2 wickets down. They've got some exciting batters to come, but you would think anywhere between, I don't know, 220, 230, that might be the number they're looking at.
Looking at the batting card, Saul Shakil, Salman Agha, Shahdab Khan, who's in super form, Mohammad Nawaz and Fahim Ashraf batting up to #9. I think the foundation laid by these 2 batters is quite key in getting the rest of the batters to come out there and play their natural game, to be aggressive. But it's not one of those pitches where you come straight away and go bang bang. It's not going to happen like that. Important that not to target too big. get a decent score and put the pressure on the Afghans, who are 2-0 down. Remember, it's playing for their pride, trying to win the first game against Pakistan in their history. And Pakistan will be playing this game to win and go to the #1 ranking before the Asia Cup. That will be a major morale booster.
I like this decision from Malik to come around the wicket. I think around the wicket here, if the bounce is a little bit low, you can access the stumps a lot easier. That's wide of off stump. That's not hitting any stumps. Into the 28th. 93 for 2.
Got a run rate of 3.3 to be maintained. I say Pakistan is not batting well, but it's a tough pitch out there. The Afghans have been brilliant. This is Babar's second ODI, and today playing in the crease, and today he's coming in front of crease, trying to create that pace. The inconsistent bounce has been an issue. This is what good batsmen do, changing their technique according to the situation, according to the pitch conditions, and that's why Babar Azam is one of the best names in international cricket at the moment.
Both players against the seam have been standing well outside their crease. Gurbaz hasn't thought about actually even standing up. I think Farid Malik's probably a little bit too quick for that. But Gulbadin not really. Been nipping it around.
Gulbadin is just like the good old style English seamers, with the length on and off stump, plays close to 125 kilometers an hour. Enough pace to keep the wicket-keeper interested, as well as the batters. And batters trying to put the bowler away from the length, and he has not been the same length over and over again.
Mid-wicket is very, very tight. So there's extra cover walking in tight onto the square. Don't want to just give away easy singles. Such a big position, that mid-wicket, for an off-spinner. That's arguably your best fielder needs to be in there. The South African John T. Rhodes, that's where he used to operate for all the off-spinners that played for South Africa. Saved so many runs there.
In great fielders in those positions. Looking at the options, boundary options for the two batters. Babar Azam hardly sweeps. He plays a drop kick over mid-wicket. That's an option with a huge gap between long on and mid-wicket, or coming down the track and going over mid-off. That's an option too. But for Mohammad Rizwan, he's predominantly like to sweep against the off-spinner. Huge opportunity between deep square leg and deep mid-wicket. Massive gap. Something that he'll be keeping a close eye on.
It's also a stroke that Rizwan likes to play. They might change the field for Rizwan. Mujib for Babar Azam came into square leg, but for Rizwan he now goes back to 45 and the deep square leg. Oh no, they're changing it again. So maybe now they're trying to encourage Rizwan to play that little lap shot. May bring in the LBW. Oh, just short. Nearly worked. So nearly.
Full marks to the wicket keeper and the bowler of Afghanistan. Almost paid out. Mujibur Rahman whisker away. A good effort. Don't think it carried. He had the premeditated sweep shot in mind. Mohammad Nabi not happy. But I tell you what, I think it's a good effort. Just that the ball did not carry to that square leg fielder.
This time he looks to go the other way. Same result, no run into the 29th, 96 for 2.
Takht Rustam, one of the other beautiful touristic attraction in Afghanistan, in Samangan province. One of the archaeological beauties of Afghanistan. It's made of entirely bedrock in consisting 5 chambers. Beautiful view.
Evening setting in here now in Colombo. Respite from the heat for the players. So again, a change of angle for Farid Malik, coming over the wicket to Babar Azam.
Running out of patience here, Babar Azam coming down the track, but the length wasn't there. The idea was clear, trying to go probably over long on or long off, but the length was not there. Farid Malik first delivery, changing his angle again, preferably. There you go, coming down the track. The length wasn't there. I'd like to see him coming around the wicket. That's an attacking angle. At the moment, he's just taking away the right-hander's LBW out of equation. Round the wicket, he can bring into play the LBW as well as the caught behind if there's enough movement off the seam away.
Again, not quite timed, but there's certainly some intent here from the 2 Pakistan batters. That's going to bring a boundary and a little bit of relief and a little bit of joy with the 100 coming up.
He felt that Babar Azam was itching for a big shot. This is what classic players do. Even though he's looking for a boundary, it's always with a straight bat and a high elbow. Take a look at this. Any youngster watching, that's how you play. A lofted off drive or lofted straight drive. Wasn't the best of timings, but good enough. Then slightly fuller, and Babar Azam was into it like a pleasure bullet.
Neatly played. Risky stroke with the inconsistent bounce, but he watches it closely.
Again, hallmark of a brilliant player. Boundary followed by a single. Best place to be, the non-strikers in. Brilliant. That's why he's a champion player. In Sri Lanka for the last, 2 months or so. Played 2 test matches up in Gaul, but SSC, plenty of game in the LPL. 8 of them, in fact, in Kandy and Colombo. He's traveling around. In tough words, being away from home, but I'm telling you, he's dishing it out. Captain of Pakistan.
So for Rizwan, Malik does come around the wicket. There's no idea where that went. He's dropped his bat. Whether the physio will be running on the field now or not, because that's hit him quite firmly.
He hit his 6-pack. Or sunbound. Oh no, chest. The top edge. He's trying to go be aggressive. The uneven bounce getting the better of Mohammad Rizwan. I think he's okay. The physio will have a closer look.
I think this hits the top edge and hits him in the chest, and then goes onto the grill of the helmet. And once that happens, then there needs to be that the concussion protocol needs to take place. So a member of the medical staff will run on, but it doesn't appear as though there's a medical staff member that's run on, just one of the substitute fielders.
To show how tough it is for Pakistan. This is the Pakistan's slowest team 100 against Afghanistan, the 6th ODI. Yes, Afghanistan have bowled really well, bowled to their plans, bowled to their field. Inconsistency of the bounce and pace of the pitch has been a real issue. No batter has been in full sail. It's a tester.
For Shah, Rizwan says, come, we're coming for 2. And it ensures that there's a misfield. And so they do get through. It brings up the 50 partnership. It's been slow, but it's been important.
A slight misfield by Fazal Faruqi at fine leg. Running the first one hard. And Mohammad Rizwan always wanted the second one. And he made sure he came back for it. And Faruqi, in the cardinal mistake, they're not keeping a close eye on the ball. Tough work, and in the end, the two batters have put a price on the attack, not giving it away pretty easily.
Dot ball. So after 30 overs, Pakistan, you think they might want to get a move on here? 103 for 2.
Well, 103 for 2 then, 20 overs left. We've had 30, feels like about 50. It has been tough, I have to say. These two, you've got two of the finest one-day players in the world, and they have struggled their way through this partnership. 51 from 105 balls. So that's a reflection of conditions. But if you're going to try and win a match, you have to adapt to those conditions, work out, sorry, excuse me, what's a good score, aim for it, get it, and try and win the game.
Yeah, it has been pedestrian for the batters, no doubt about it. But here is a question for you, David. Is it the case of Afghan bowlers exploiting the conditions well, bowling tightly, or the look of the pitch has belied the behavior?
Do I get a third option? I mean, my interpretation is as blunt as this. The pitch has been variable and has been slow. So you see these two unable to time it, but Afghanistan have bowled well. Yeah, I mean, there's still that thing. You've got to then, if you're a bowling attack, you use your resources as best you can. I mean, for instance, and this one has gone fine enough to, should be 2, I think. This may be 3 if they push. Yeah, they're going to push for 3. But the thing is this: if you're Afghanistan in the field here, you play to your strengths. One of your strengths is spin. One of their strengths today actually has been Gulbadin, who has come into the side for the first time in the series and has hit a length, hit his lines, has enjoyed the uneven bounce from his point of view, because they've really just struggled to get it away. Miscued, drops way short of long on.
I just thought of third option. You asked for it. Okay. The third option is, you mentioned that the batters, they need to adapt swiftly. Did they?
Well, no, they have struggled. I mean, still struggling. One-handed sweep shot, gets one. I mean, what we've seen, what have we seen? Let's analyse very briefly what we've seen. 2 left-handers at the top of the innings. Both tried to come down the pitch to create something because they were also struggling to time it. Both got out. These two, again, I repeat, 2 of the finest one-day players in the world, have been coming down the pitch. That's a nice shot. That is a lovely shot, given everything we've talked about. One of those rare shots where actually with that little bit of width outside the off stump, this has been timed sweetly.
Yeah, the reason why he was able to execute that stroke perfectly, a bit of pace behind the ball, and there was bounce. And that's why Babar Azam pounced.
We answered the question yet? I've lost track. Have we answered that question? Devender, what do you think? He thinks it's drinks. Okay, fair enough. And he's right. Absolutely spot on. 113 for 2, 31 overs gone. And we might as well have a drink because nothing else is happening.
Well, when you go to Kabul, you don't just go that saffron there in Kabul. When you go to Kabul, you go for different purposes as well, not just playing cricket, watching cricket, dry fruits. And that is one of the reasons you see, enthusiastic cricketers there. Dry gin, almonds, and in plenty. Nutritious value, gives the strength. One of the reasons behind their charm. Back to hot and humid conditions in Colombo.
Yeah, the Pakistani batters certainly need those to get some strength here.
Well, anything that brings some timing, some rigidity to the bat, we'll take it. So the bowling figures so far, one thing actually Afghanistan have done differently today, which is good actually, is by using 6, gives you further options as you get towards the end of the innings. They'd run out of options at the end of that game, match number 2, an ultimate over, no names, no pack draw, but it cost them the game in the end. Even then, still had a chance at the final over. So all these lessons are learned each and every day, but so far, Afghanistan have kept things on a very, very tight rein. So the drinks have been taken, and no doubt the dried fruits and the almonds and the saffron, everything else has been taken as well. And we have 19 overs left in this Pakistan innings. Run rate 3.65. Very, very different to Hambantota in that second match especially. So, Rizwan and Barbara have the chance now to try and reset and make a plan for these final 19 overs.
You know, what they need to do, both these batters, if they're not finding the boundary, keep on ticking the scoreboard. Just play the ball with softer hands, nudge the ball into the gaps and run hard. We haven't seen that consistently.
Right, Mujib is back into the attack as well. 6 overs at the start of the innings. Well, the first ball after the break, after the drinks breaks, disappears. Not only that, it's a no ball as well. So in effect, the over hasn't even started yet.
Was it an early call from the umpire and Rizwan heard it? I don't think so. That was premeditated. He decided that the ball is going to go towards mid-wicket. There is no fielder present.
It's going to be free hit. Rizwan, 34, looking to accelerate. Looking to put a competitive total. Freedom to express himself. Whacks it through the
I thought
offside.
he's going to run down.
He will be done.
Yeah, he had the freedom. I thought he was going to run down because he had the freedom to go down the pitch. What's the worst can happen? Even if you miss it, you can't be out. It's gone down the leg side and is called a wide.
I thought the bowler was cleverer. He pitched the ball right up to the batsman, even though he was coming down the track, but wasn't able to form the gap.
Yeah, what Rizwan would have liked to have done, get underneath it, over extra cover or something like that, just to find the boundary. But yeah, that's the tricky thing about these free hits. At the start of the over, those four runs off the no ball gives you a bit of leeway for the rest of the over, and we are already up to 8 from this over, which is completely at odds with everything that we've seen against Mujib start of the game and also in the previous 2 games. It is well bowled. Again, the attempt coming down the pitch completely stymied there.
Well, the one batter batted exceedingly well against Mujib over the years. Down the track. Pitch it over extra. Runs here. He does well on the boundary.
This time around, Rizwan was able to get underneath the ball to be able to hit the ball aerial. It has been a very good over for Pakistan.
Yeah, just checking this just to make sure there's nothing untoward. But the footwork is good. It's quite deft, actually. So nothing to be, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there's no need to look at anything else. That's nicely fielded with the boot. Well done.
That I was talking about Paul Sterling from Ireland. 32 overs gone, 124 for 2. So he's someone who stays side. He looks to hit through the offside. Plays him like a medium pace or sweeps. He doesn't go down the track. Not many batters go down the track against Mujib because of his fastest deliveries and variations.
Yeah, all good points. We've seen now that Rizwan, not through desperation, I think there's an element actually of assessing what he needs to try and do. So he's gone down a couple of times. The one time he's got it over extra cover, it's still sort of pitched like a bit of a golf shot, like a 7-iron, and didn't make the boundary. But Pakistan will be eyeing up. What can they eye up at this rate? 250 would be a hell of a good score from here. And what are the options? 5-0 from here gets you to 214, so that's achievable, I would say. Somewhere in between that and the foot we saw to the right of it, 250. Well, I think somewhere in between actually is probably where Pakistan might end up. One-handed sweep shot, full toss low. Ashley times it well enough and gets it fine enough as well to get boundary.
The way these 2 batters, especially Rizwan after that drinks break, started to improvise, tells me they're looking for something close to 250.
Well, you can look for it, and if you get it right, what can change, of course, is this: the dynamic can change. So, whereas Afghanistan have had pretty much control so far, if the runs start to flow, that just affects the whole balance of the game. Now, where's that gone? It hasn't gone far enough to get anywhere near the boundary. It's gone far enough to clear mid-wicket running back. And it's fortuitous. It drops. Oh, and we have an overthrow. Well, that bit is casual. I mean, the lucky bit for Pakistan, that high ball dropped in no man's land, in between maybe 3 fielders. It's right off the toe again, but just had enough to find some open ground. Then the next bit is this. You can't quite see the result, but can we interpret that? Can we put a caption on that picture here?
Off air we can, but not on there. Yeah, Rizwan doesn't have to do that. You know, he picked up a boundary in the over. What he needs to do is look for singles. And if he carries on like this, Pakistan surely can get close to 250. But he has to be reminded that it's not easy batting on a surface like this for a newcomer. So he has to eke out as far as this partnership is concerned.
So Hashmat has brought 2 premium spinners in for the purpose of getting wicket here.
It's a subtle tactic, isn't it? Batsman starting to play a few shots, so just turn the sight screen on to blink. You see, in the old days, Amir, in the old days, simple patient screens, you know, none of this electronic stuff, nothing goes wrong. And I think they fixed it, hope they fixed it, and we can crack on.
One batter was quite fussy about it, Tendulkar. But it's a maiden ODI 100 on this ground, long time back. It's going to be a challenge for Pakistan. Afghanistan search for a wicket. Rashid and Mujib. If they look to play attacking strokes against him, playing in Afghanistan's hands, because they liked batters coming at them. That's how they take wickets in T20 version of the game.
Beware Pakistani batters. Don't go after the bowlers, Afghan bowlers, otherwise they'll pick you.
131 for 2. Well, it's interesting listening to both of you here. Somehow saying, please, 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 don't go at the batsman. Don't try and score runs. Don't entertain us. Or am I being slightly facetious? But it is a balance to strike for sure. But again, you're not going to nudge your way to 250. If you think you need 250, then yes, someone has to take risks. And actually, yes, you're right. It won't be easy for people coming in to get the hang of this pitch quickly. But it's all about some sort of risk-taking and some sort of ambition, and to balance the two out.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. You know, the cricketers, they need to entertain the crowd, to take the viewership up. At times, you don't have to play for the gallery, you have to play for the team.
Yeah, well, I'm not complaining necessarily about the entertainment value, because actually, first and foremost, yeah, sides if they can. I mean, they go back to England, as it were, and the cricket they've been playing recently. They're trying to win games, and they're automatically entertaining because of the way they play. But actually, this situation today is all about trying to find a way of winning this game. I mean, decided to bat first. You know, Pakistan, I think, expected a better surface. Everyone we know expected a slightly better surface from this pitch at Premadasa. But no, then you have to make the adjustment. Absolutely, then you make the adjustment. Well, the aborted run-up gives us a chance just to mention that it's Gurbaz who's back on again, who's been very good actually. 7 overs, 2 for 14. Got both openers out. Both openers running at him, trying to get the ball away and failing.
Yeah, he's not a stickler for line and length, but how well he has bowled in this game so far. Edged. And a boundary.
Well, nearly a third in much the same way. Okay, it's not a left-hander this time, it's the right-handed Rizwan, but he's run down at it like a sprinter and then try to give it everything, try to give it a massive heave, but the outside edge will look as good. It might have gone over mid-wicket for 6 if he'd got hold of it, but 4 over third will at least be good in the scorebook. No one will know. In 20 years' time, no one will know where that one went, apart from Rizwan and Gulbadin. Well, Rizwan has moved himself on to 49. That's where Gulbadin is good. Sticks to what he wants to do. In these conditions, you allow a bowler to do that more than normal. On really good pitches, if you just stick to what you do, as it were, batsmen work it out. They find ways of manoeuvring the ball. Comes onto the bat, whack! It goes over extra cover or mid wicket, and you bowlers have a lot more thinking to do. Sweet. Nicely timed. It's 50 for Rizwan, his 10th ODI 50. What a battle it's been, though, this time.
They're painstaking. A good thing for Pakistan. Stuck it out. At times he looked frustrated, but used that frustration quite well. He's been able to get another 50 in his ODI career, the 10th one.
Took the pace off. Went on slightly deep, so the single was on.
In the last 3 overs, what we have seen is this innings gaining a bit of momentum, and through this man, Mohammad Rizwan. He's been able to pick up a few boundaries.
Well, it did seem as though a conscious decision had been taken during the drinks break to try and force the pace a bit. But we'd seen all his efforts before then. He had come to nothing pretty much. He miscues, misses. That's sweet. A good interception, half an interception, a deflection.
Ashraf did well. That ball was thumped. And that was kind of a scorching cover drive from Babar Azam. Cheering for the Pakistani team, and also Afghanistan supporters are there. Could have a bit of noise in the ground.
It's the one this time. Yeah, without being rude, we had more elephants than people in Hambantota. 141 for 2. A big difference, of course, between the deep south and the national park and the big city of Colombo. And it's a weekend as well, so yeah, certainly good to have him. In effect, well, not in effect, it is. It's a neutral venue. Afghanistan, the home side officially in the series, so a neutral venue. So nice to have a few fans in. You'll see a little bit of atmosphere here. Only 8 runs in 3 overs since the drinks break. That's a marked acceleration.
It looks like these two batsmen have developed an understanding that Babar Azam is going to look for singles and Rizwan is going to be the aggressor. That is the city of Colombo for you. Artificial lights taking effect.
Flatter. About as flat as you can get as a spinner. Devendra, do you like to see him throw the ball up a bit more at times than he habitually does?
He does in Test match format, but not in One Day and T20. And especially when batters are looking to play big shots, as Rizwan was trying to play. He likes to go flat and quick. just like that.
I know it's the way he bowls. I know it's the way he likes to bowl. There is a sort of thought in the back of the mind that every now and again the sort of floaty one that goes up above the eye line might grip a bit more as well for the spin. And one of his assets is consistency with those lengths. And we're just going to check this, by the way. We are just going to check this. Shouldn't be an issue. So before I'll say it again, umpires just like to be absolutely sure they've not missed something unexpected.
You can have the replay from the opposite side. Yes, please. Yes, he's standing by. Yeah, keep rolling. You just rock back and roll it again. Yeah, freeze the replay. There, a batter has made his. The wicket was broken. Satisfied.
Well, closer than we might have imagined originally, but still safe for Babar Azam. That's almost bouncer length, and it has bounced off the bat, and it's going to bounce off the boards at the edge of the field. Just remember that. It's a rarity today. It's a 6.
That was flatter than flat, wasn't it, from Rashid Khan? Folding. Plenty of time for the batter to rock back and hit the ball aerial from the middle of the bat. And it has disappeared. This is good. This is good from Babar as well.
Well, like Rizwan just a few moments ago, a couple of minutes ago, he's now to 49 as well. Excuse me, sir. I'd like to point out that your bright orange bib shows up rather well against the black side screen. Ooh, thick outside edge, but it takes the ball into the gap towards deep cover. So both these men now on 50. Rizwan's with his 10th in ODIs. That is ODI 50, number 28 for Babar Azam. Also brings up the 150. So 150 for 2. Under normal circumstances, you'd expect people to make hay, decide to make hay from now on. I'm certainly going to predict some sort of acceleration, attempts at acceleration for sure. Might not be fireworks as such, but the fact that these two have spent so much time with the crease means that even if they don't like it so much or didn't like it to start with, they're now used to this pitch. So 50 from 77 for Babar, 53 from 71 for Rizwan. Obviously batting to come, Shakil playing his first game, debutant in this format. Salman Agha played a couple. Or have I got that wrong? Hang on, I'm being corrected. See, I listened to Babar at the toss, and that's what he told us. When I trust Babar explicitly. Well, there you are. Who can you trust nowadays, eh? Anyway, he's playing. Yeah, just a little bit of thoughts. It was slow and wide is called as such.
Yeah, this innings of Pakistan has got some acceleration, and that's why the ballers started to feel the pressure. Not many wide deliveries bowled by Gurbaz Batting before this over, but he starts off with a wide ball.
Just the one, straight out to deep cover, but it does take this partnership to exactly 100. 100 from 139 balls.
Both the batters summoning up their experience. composite class and mental application. About 51, 53 for Rizwan. The batters who've been prolific with the bat of late for Pakistan.
Yeah, both men, at least, and we said it before, at least since the drinks break, both men seem to have just changed gear slightly.
And just because of that intent, Gurbaz has been forced to shorten his length. And that has become easier for the batters. Another boundary found by a Pakistani batsman, and that is Babar Azam.
Celebration time for Pakistan, celebration time for the spectators turning up for today's game as well. The leg cutter dropping it short and easy picking for Babar to deposit it over mid-wicket for 4.
Well, the thing about the slower ball bouncer is that if you get it right as the bowler, you get it in that sort of gap between slow and quick. And I'll continue that in a moment. Cuts away nicely. Coming back for the seconds. Speed between the wickets, make sure that second is completed suitably enough. Yeah, the slow ball bouncer, if it's just slightly slower, it'll confuse the timing of the batsman. That one we just saw 2 balls ago was so slow that Babar had time to look at it, think about it, readjust, reset, think about it again, then readjust and think about it again, then hit it for 4.
Yeah, he had a small kip, woke up and was able to hit the ball over mid-wicket.
Took a little nip of saffron, didn't he? This is sweet as well, so there's a long chase on here towards that extra cover boundary. Again, footwork, we saw it earlier from Nabi. This is Mujib. The footwork on the boundary's edge at least saves the boundary, but it's 3 and it's 12 from the over already. Started with the wide, 5 legitimate deliveries since. We're going from quiet to quieter. There are no pickings for the Crows.
Looked nervous initially, Mohammad Rizwan, but settled in quite nicely. Started to maneuver the length, took few risks, and he was rewarded.
Lucky stroke as well. One that went fine down to 3rd. Normally a flowing batter, a batter who likes to play fluent strokes through the onside particularly. Lots of boundaries from the square region on the onside, mid-wicket. That was surely
going down leg side, but not bouncing particularly.
It wasn't short enough to be pulled. Yes, the trajectory was low, and that fooled the batsman.
Afghanistan controlling the game in 30th over, not quite allowing Pakistan batters to run away with the game, but a conscious decision after the drinks break to accelerate, and so far Pakistan have been successful. Pakistan has the resources, Afghanistan, to shift the momentum. It's a matter of just 1 wicket.
Three dots. Pressure on the batsman. Number 4. He's been able to string few dot deliveries in this over, Rashid. He was quite expensive in the previous over, but he allowed the batsman to hit a couple of boundaries.
Oh, he's got him. 4 dots followed by a wicket. This is turning to be a very special over for Rashid Khan. That little dab to come in and try and keep the pace going.
He thought it's going to be a googly, but a bit of turn for Rashid Khan, and that did the trick. A decent catch behind the stumps by Gurbaz. Babar Azam perishes after contributing 60 runs from 86 deliveries. It's 162 for 3 Pakistan.
Saud Shakil comes in at number 5 with the fall of Babar Azam.
सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। लिंक पहले कमेंट में पिन है। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें, नहीं तो स्क्रीन ऐसे ही रहेगी। सब लोग लिंक पे क्लिक करें।
Also and seen what's been going on. He's seen that the nice start from Saud Shakil. That's a good run. Ball straight away. That's always the key to these quick singles. As long as communication is good and you go straight away, invariably you'll get in there. The old scrap. Right, for Saud Shakil. Mujib goes round the wicket. Just gets it wide of the cover, so one follows one.
Talking about Saud Shakil, he's been prolific in test matches. He's been noted in ODI cricket as well. That's in the air, full-blooded from Rizwan, and the ball has disappeared.
Wicket falling in the previous over, but that doesn't affect the tempo of Rizwan. Looking to attack Mujib. Kerem delivery. His favourite stroke, slog sweep. A full-blooded stroke. A mighty stroke as he picks up another 6. Mujib knows it.
Nothing to do with the field placing Mujib. That was a good hit, and that's why it was a 6.
Yeah, until they allow fielders 10 yards behind the boundary edge.
No, Mujib was saying that I made a mistake.
Thank heaven you know the language. There's a thought of coming back for 2, but Just to point out again, smaller territory here. The grounds at Hambantota and here at Premadas are acres of space at Hambantota. So actually, in the deep, there are a lot of twos throughout those two games. Slightly tighter boundaries here at Premadas, especially on that side. That's gone fine. Tell you what, it was very straight. It was swept from very, very straight, but he's got it away fine. He's found the boundary as well, so it's a brisk start from Shakil.
Yeah, he has come out with an intent. South Shakil has scored a couple of boundaries in his short stay. Went outside the off stump to be able to hit ball. Very fine. He's looking to improvise.
No runs this time. Just a little factoid for you, a little odd fact about South Shakil. In test matches, so not ODIs, he averages 130 against spin. Made a 50, at least 50 in each of his first 7 test matches, so he can play. That is for sure. It's 179 for 3.
So Shakil is a special player against spin. He's 9 of 4. And I probably will not be off the mark if I say that he'll probably be in the top 3 of current batsmen who play spin the best. There is a reverse sweep, only a single. And if he has a good outing today, he'll put a lot of pressure on somebody like Iftikhar in the middle order. And Pakistan looking for that option against spin because Colombo will host a lot of games in the Asia Cup. And it'll be spin dominating Asia Cup. So they need to find someone as priceless as South Shakil in the middle order to tackle spin. Just been told that he's not part of the Asia Cup squad, but I don't know how did he miss the boat, because when it comes to playing spin and playing in these conditions, he'd be so suited.
It's a huge compliment given to the young man. Such a view, Ramesh Bhai. And I feel, looking at the young boy, the little bit that I've seen and the things that have been spoken of this young boy, I think Pakistani selectors have got it wrong as well. Oh, this is called a commentator's curse. Just praising the young man. And the good old yes-no from the non-strikers end, and the promising inning of the young boy finishes with a direct hit by Ramullah Gurbaz.
Yes, very keen to rotate the strike. The idea was right, but clearly not a single. Ran himself out there. Ball watching, his partner was not interested in, for all the right reasons. Gone. Direct hit, and a very good direct hit from the keeper. Unfortunate end because he had a lot to offer, especially against spin. Gone for 9, it's 180 for 4. Colombo's skyline is not as dramatic as that of Hambantota, but still a lot of special spots here as well. Our lone bird up there, mapping the sky. Agha Salman is another one who's got a lot of talent. Pakistan losing their way just a little bit. A little haphazard in the last few overs. I think potentially they are on for a 260, 270 total here.
Not to pick your brain on non-selection of Shakil. Take a look at this run out. Cardinal not trusting the non-striker straight away, and Ramullah Gurbaz full throttle and had one slam to him and aimed it properly. We'll talk about in the next over, just one delivery to go. Just want to speak about Saud Shakil in these conditions, how handful he's going to be in the middle order, whereas some other selections could have been a good option. Going forward, we feel it's the other way around. Will work at the R. Premdas Stadium. 39 gone, 180 for 4. It's a fantastic over for Afghanistan, just giving away one run. And the wicket of the promising looking, beg your pardon, Saud Shakil. Still to come, Shahdab Khan, Mohammad Nawaz, 5 Mashraf, all can use the long handle. The foundation has been laid after 39 overs. From 6 runs per arm here onwards, we'll get to 240, 244. And I think anything more than 250, it's going to be a match-winning score. Just 8 extras has been fantastic by Afghanistan, who bowled to their field, very effective in these conditions. Farid Malik from the far end has bowled first 5 overs just for 19 runs, runs in hard.
That's gone through. Well hit, well struck by Rizwan. Tempo is up as far as he's concerned. He's played some lovely shots and was calm early on when not a lot was happening, and his pace has picked up. This is becoming an excellent knock now.
Yeah, fantastic knock. Taking the right option. That's definitely a boundary option with the last over before 5 fielders in the boundary. Lid off is up, giving him some room. The length was there. Just went through the line. This is fantastic by Pakistani wicket keeper.
That's given by the umpire. It was 50-50, I thought. Maybe going down the leg side, maybe a little high. DRS, what is he thinking? He's taken it.
To director, we have a player review for LBW. On-field decision is out. I'll check the front foot, and it's flat. Let's start with front on camera, please. Appears to be missing the bat. Yep. I think you can have alterations to confirm. Roll it. Yeah, I can see a clear gap between the bat and ball. Satisfied, no bat involved. Ball tracking whenever it is used. Pitching outside off, impact line, wickets, umpire call. Then stay with your, let you know whenever you're on screen. Signal. You're on screen, signal now.
Oh, it was a borderline case, but correct decision made by the umpire. He's obviously gutted because he was motoring along very nicely, and his innings has been cut short because of that in-swinging angle. Rizwan walks back dejectedly. 67 of 79. He played a very good hand on a tough pitch. 184 for the loss of 5. He occupies a very, very important post. Batting at number 7, Shahdab Khan. He needs to get cracking straight away. He's got to know the situation also. Can't get out early. He's got experience. Lot riding on his skill work here for Pakistan. That's an excellent beginning for him. Driving sweetly through the offside.
Sweetly, creamy, name whatever. But I think that's a fantastic shot under the circumstances. This was given out. Mohammad Rizwan went upstairs. I understand why. It's a marginal call, keeping the bails. Fortunately for Mohammad Rizwan, it was clipping the top of leg stump. Yes, the angle was coming into the right hand. That's a good option taken by Farid.
Covering the set of stumps, Shahdab, and Rizwan was doing the same. And so if you're covering the set of stumps, you cannot miss the line of the ball. There you see him almost on that off-stump line and then turning his wrists. Just blocking himself with that feet movement and where he was with the angle. And so once he missed it, it was always going to be a close call. Better off really staying on that leg stump so that you can maneuver the ball freely through the offside.
I also feel caught him off guard of the seam movement. Generally with an older ball, left arm coming around the wicket, there's a tendency of going away from the right hand. But this occasion, it seemed back. Maybe Mohammad Rizwan was caught by surprise with the angle and the movement what he got. But I understand what you're saying. Would have much better of doing the opposite thing, but I just thought it was a fantastic delivery, and the length was far better by Farid. Right throughout the day, he's been hitting the deck hard on the back of the length, and whenever he has pitched it full, he has got some assistance when it comes to some seam movement.
Once again targeting the stumps. Excellent over. Very, very fine over. Comes to an end. 188 for 5. $85 runs in the last 10 overs for Pakistan, so pace is up. Let's see how they end this innings. 10 overs left, the final 10 overs. Just a little bit surprised, Farviz, that the ball has not stopped moving from the paces, especially the medium paces. It looks a pretty benign pitch from a distance, but every now and then paces have surprised the batsman with lateral movement.
The amount of grass which was left in this pitch surprised me as well when I had a look, and that's why WW bowlers like Gurbaz Batting getting some seam movement, and they're very dangerous in these conditions. Farid, I think I'll have to give full marks to the young man. He has run hard, he's bent his back for his captain, for his country, and he has hit the lens very, very hard, and he has grabbed the opportunity with both hands. Also wanted to pick your brains on a couple of matters from his drive. So much activity happening last 2 overs. We just didn't have the time. On the matter of Shah Shakil, I understand what you're trying to say with spin, heavy, RPM Madas getting slower. You think the think tank got it wrong by not having him? Why I'm asking is, you get middle order batsmen, some like Iftikhar Ahmed is either blocked or hit. And these conditions, I feel the players are milking those singles, playing paddle sweep. playing those inside out. These players are effective. So do you think they missed out on a golden opportunity of getting Shakil in?
I mean, South Shakil has got an average of 130 in Test cricket against spin. He's a master craftsman when it comes to playing spin bowling. Should have been in. And it's a longer version. Remember, it's not a T20 contest, so you need somebody really to absorb few overs of tough spin. Excellent over from Mujib so far. Shahdab has got stuck, looking to make a bit of room, and he's followed him right throughout this 5 balls now. Oh, bowled him. Yes, he deserved it richly. Shahdab Khan was going nowhere. At 6s and 7s, as they say, is lost. And looking for runs, never was allowed that luxury by Mujib. So finally, he strikes.
Shahdab looked rattled today. It's not the normal Shahdab who's settled, taking the responsibility. Today, he's trying to hit every delivery, giving him some room, covering the stumps. He was trying to up the ante, and in the end pays the price. That was much quicker. The carom ball, miss it, all ends up. That's beaten for pace. You hardly say it against a spinner, but in this occasion, Shahdab Khan was undone by absolute beaut. But Mujibur Rahman, who has had a fantastic series so far. Shahdab Khan gone for 3. Pakistan 189 for 6.